They thought it was just an old candy factory, a place of forgotten sweets and broken dreams. But deep within its sugar-coated walls, something was waiting. Sweet, sticky, and hungry. Are you ready to taste the darkness? The fog thickens like melting marshmallows, curling around the cracked pavement and faded candy cane fences that guard the abandoned factory. A towering silhouette of peppermint-striped towers looms ahead, its broken windows winking in the moonlight. On the gate, faded letters spell out, Everwhirl Candy Co., barely legible under rust and time. Three figures, no older than adventure itself, creep forward with flashlights flickering in their trembling hands. They push open the enormous peppermint doors, the hinges groaning like ancient creatures. A burst of cold, sugary air escapes, as if the building exhaled. Inside, the glow from their flashlights dances across shattered lollipops and broken chocolate gears littered across the lobby floor. Every detail is coated in a layer of sweet dust. Caramel cobwebs stretch across corners, cotton candy mold clings to the ceiling, and half-melted jelly bean tiles squish softly beneath their steps. Yet amidst the awe, a silence so heavy it presses against their chests. One child stops, eyes wide, staring at a giant gumball machine. Its glass cracked, but a single glowing gumball floating within, pulsing faintly. Then a sound, a soft chuckle, or the squeak of licorice beneath the floorboards. The figures look at one another, faces caught between wonder and dread. The peppermint doors slam shut behind them, locked in, no turning back. They enter the heart of the factory. Rows of steel conveyor belts stretch endlessly in the dim light. Machines shaped like candy molds tower above, lifeless and silent, until a sudden whirring begins. One by one, the belts sputter and twitch. Then, like a spell cast in reverse, they roar to life. From overhead tubes, streams of rainbow syrup pour out, but they don't fall. They float, hovering midair like enchanted liquid ribbons, twisting and weaving as if dancing to invisible music. A shelf nearby creaks. Dozens of gummy bears, once still, now twitch. Heads turn, eyes blink, slowly, deliberately. The three freeze, breaths held. Suddenly, one gummy leaps off the shelf. Not at them, just down to the floor, landing with a soft thud and slowly crawling into the shadows. The syrup swirls around them and their flashlights flicker wildly. Reflections scatter across the sticky tile floor, making the room feel like a kaleidoscope of haunted candy. Their expressions twist, one gasps, another steps back into a pool of floating syrup. Their skin glows under its reflection. So beautiful, so wrong. A faint voice echoes, childlike, giggling from inside the walls. They run. Through a maze of licorice-wrapped corridors and candy tube tunnels, they find themselves in the grand production hall. Their flashlights pierce a dense fog as sparks pop from old ceiling wires above. All around them, massive candy machines stand like giants in slumber, covered in cobwebs spun from sugar threads. The silence feels deeper here. Every step sticks slightly to the floor. Suddenly, clang. A machine near the center of the room groans, powering on with an eerie hum. Red light seeps from its core, pulsating like a heartbeat. Ghostly whispers echo from its gears, somewhere between singing and sobbing. The fog thickens as shadows twist behind them, slithering across the walls like licorice tentacles. They freeze, wide-eyed. The red light grows. The floor beneath them vibrates gently. A voice clearer now says one word: hungry. The tallest child slowly raises their flashlight toward the machine's central control panel, which glows with an otherworldly swirl of sugar and darkness. Their face is filled with terror, and yet something pulls them closer. Suddenly, behind them, a shape moves. With a rumble and a crack like snapping toffee, the walls begin to breathe. The factory groans, as if waking from a 100-year sleep. Then, from the shadows, it emerges. A towering wraith, its form twisted from molten caramel and strands of black licorice. Its eyes glow like cherry jawbreakers in the dark. Long arms of sticky candy stretch with sickening creaks, and every step it takes leaves trails of burnt sugar behind. The children back away, frozen. One slips but is caught. Their faces are pure terror, eyes wide, mouths agape, sweat glistening under flickering lights. The figure howls, a sound like taffy being ripped apart. And yet, the smallest among them steps forward. They hold something, a lollipop, but unlike any other. Its glow cuts through the darkness with a soft, golden warmth. A relic, a key, they don't know, but something inside tells them it matters. The wraith hesitates, for a moment silence. Then, with a scream of splitting syrup, it lunges. The world becomes motion and chaos. The children sprint through a tunnel of rock candy and brittle sugar, which begins to collapse behind them. Giant hands, made of vapor and marshmallow smoke, claw from the walls, trying to pull them into the dark. The brave one, clutching the glowing lollipop, turns sharply and races back toward the heart of the factory. With a cry from the soul, they slam the relic into the haunted machine's control core. Everything freezes. Then a blast of golden light erupts, brighter than day. The shadows dissolve. The air clears. The syrup lifts and vanishes into glimmers. The machine melts away into nothing. Silence returns. But it's different now, warm, safe. Soft music plays from old candy speakers. Lights flicker back to life, this time in pastel hues. The fog retreats. The haunted is now healed. The children, dusty and tear-streaked, gather in the center of the room. They hug, eyes full of emotion. And as they look up, beams of sunlight pour in through the shattered candy glass windows above. They smile. Not because it's over, but because they made it through. In every sweet, there's a story. In every fear, a choice. So, if the factory called to you next, would you dare open the peppermint doors?